Yo, what's going on, guys? Time for another reaction video, and today I'm going to be reacting to, or actually I'm doing one of my American Reacts episodes, and it's going to be 5 ways British and American bedrooms are very different. Before we get into the video, quick shout out to Lost in the Pond. Without this video, we wouldn't be able to make my video, so Lost in the Pond, I'm going to make sure that I subscribe to your channel and get set up to get your notifications. I'm about to sneeze, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. I'm not starting over. I'm not going to record. Let's just run with it. Lost in the Pond. I'm also going to feature you on allaboutthelife.com, which is one of my websites where I feature other YouTubers mixed in with some of my videos and just content that I actually consume. So your video will be featured there. Or perhaps I might feature some of your other videos there in the future as I start to see them pop up in my subscription feed. So let's jump into the video and see how many of these things are a surprise to me, or some that I may have already realized as far as the differences between American bedrooms and British bedrooms. Here we go.
One of the most common bedroom differences I get asked about is, why do Americans sleep with that extra sheet between the quilt and you?
Because it's much easier to wash a sheet than an entire quilt. That's what I think anyways. As you can see, this is much thicker, much heavier than the sheet below it. So if you only have to wash the sheets more regularly and the quilt every so often, it just makes it a lot easier. And it preserves this from getting worn out and ugly looking really fast.
Hello, I'm Lawrence, and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to bedrooms. In Britain and throughout the world, people need a designated room where they can go to sleep and do other stuff, like reading, for example. But depending on the country that you're in, the bedroom, a word supposedly coined by Shakespeare, might take a different form. And as somebody who has lived extensively in both Britain and America, this is most certainly true of those two countries. And so without further ado, here are 5 ways that British and American bedrooms are very different. Before we even get to the main centerpiece of the bedroom, which is the bed, there is one major thing that American bedrooms have that most British bedrooms do not, and it's something contained not within the 4 walls of the bedroom, but within the wall. I'm talking about built-in closets. Now, this is my walk-in closet. I say mine, I mean it is shared with my wife, of course. I say shared, I mean it's mostly hers. So you might be thinking, well, Lawrence, where do British people hang their clothes? And the answer is simple: in a wardrobe that admittedly takes up more space, unless it leads to Narnia. But while America may have the...
Yeah, if that was the option, I'd much rather have my walk-in closet or the closets that we have here than a wardrobe. We use wardrobes and dresser drawers and things like that, but that's more for your folded items. But all your hang-up stuff is going to be in a closet along with your shoes and coats and all kinds of things. So I kind of appreciate having the additional closet space.
Advantage in the closet department, Britain is still leading the way on these. Back in the days when I still dressed like a child, you bought me this t-shirt, so you can leave it out. Back in the days when I was still a child, I distinctly remember sleeping alongside a rubber accessory that was filled with hot water. It was a hot water bottle, and it was one of those things that I'd forgotten about until researching for this video. For anyone not in the know, a hot water bottle is exactly the accessory I just described, and its purpose is to keep you warm while you sleep. It can be a problem if you accidentally burst it, because then your parents think you have another problem and you have to go see a doctor. Now, with the advent of electric blankets, hot water bottles have seen a decline in popularity.
I've never actually even heard of that. The idea makes sense, obviously, but that's a new one on me.
This is particularly true in the United States, but I have it on good authority that people still occasionally use them in Britain, but part of me believes that most of them just use it to refill their tea without leaving the bed. As always, when it comes to comparing British and American things, inevitably it always comes back to size. And you might not be too surprised to learn that American beds, on the whole, are longer, wider, or sometimes both, than British beds. So let's take a look at how that plays out, or lays out. That's a bed pun. Sorry, let's just take a look. So the smallest bed size in the United States is the twin bed. This measures in at roughly 39 by 75 inches. And its nearest equivalent in Britain is a single bed, which is just as long as an American twin, but 4 inches less wide. After that, America has a twin XL, which is coupled with Britain's small double. Try saying that after 4 whiskeys. And then America has what is known as the full-size mattress. This is 54 inches by 75. This is almost identical to the double-size mattress in Britain. From here on out, things become like a game of chess, as both countries sort of introduce a royal family of mattress sizes. In the US, some people sleep on the Queen, not the Queen, that would be breaking news, on a queen-sized mattress, which is about 60 inches by 80. This is virtually identical to Britain's king-size mattress, but neither country ousts their bedroom monarchy there. What's better than a queen? A super queen. In the US, this measures in at 66 inches by 80. Funnily enough, the nearest equivalent in Britain is called, can you guess what it's called? Can you? It's called a super king, and it's 72 inches by 80. And so Britain wins, except it doesn't, because America also has a king-size bed that measures 76 by 80. And at this point, Britain's mattresses abdicated the throne, while America's just kept going with the California King at 72 inches by 84, and that's just showing off. So perhaps this...
I didn't even know about like a super queen. I never heard of that. The ones I was familiar with is twin, double, full, queen, king, and California king. And I think this one behind me, I think it's a queen, and it's just me. So I got a queen-size bed to myself.
Additional size is why Americans are more likely to use one of these. However massive the mattress, it's more common in the US than the UK for it to sit on top of what is known as a box spring. And while I definitely couldn't claim to be a bed connoisseur, I hadn't heard of the phrase box spring until I moved to America. And there's a couple of reasons for this. Firstly, we don't call it that. Apparently, we call it either a sprung bed base or a divan. I've never used those terms either, and that's because this particular contraption is much less common in Britain. And so what is this contraption? Well, a box spring is a base that sits under your mattress that sort of incorporates a spring system like you might find in your mattress. And the idea is with that additional bounce, I won't keep doing that, the springs in the mattress have a greater shelf life. In Britain, our mattresses tend to sit on harder surfaces, meaning that the springs in your mattress wear down more quickly depending on how much you put them under duress. Mine were mostly fine. But so much for what goes under the mattress. Let's take a look at what goes on top. One of the most common bedroom differences I get asked about is, why do Americans sleep with that extra sheet between the quilt and you? And this is what's known as a top sheet. And while I have read that top sheets have become less popular among younger Americans, they are nonetheless still in wide use. But what purpose do they serve? Well, aside from adding an additional layer of warmth for Americans that don't know the joys of a hot water bottle, a top sheet is often used for hygienic reasons. The theory being that your body, and therefore body odor and sweat and dirt, doesn't come into contact with the comforter / quilt. And I can get behind this idea because it means you can wash the comforter less often. Who needs bulky laundry?
Yeah, see, that's kind of what I said at the intro when he first brought that sentence up. So I guess my prediction was pretty spot on.
Now, because Americans are more likely to use this approach than British people, they're also more likely to not use a duvet cover because what's the point? In Britain, this is largely how we get around the hygiene problem, if indeed we choose to. Now, if Reddit is anything to go by, then this is the source of a heated debate. So let me know in the comments below, top sheet or no top sheet. As for me and my American wife, we compromised on both a top sheet and a quilt cover for some reason. That's it for this episode. Let me know in the comments below how you keep your bedroom. Just keep it general. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that my videos don't get lost in the pond. A big shout out to all of my patrons who make these videos possible. If you would like to become a patron of Lost in the Pond, you can do so at patreon.com.
Yeah, go check out his Patreon if you enjoyed this video and you start following his channel.
/lostinthepond. Until next time, goodbye.
I liked his, you know, subtle humor, his little bit of wit that he put into there. Yeah, most of the stuff seemed pretty familiar to me, but I guess the new one on me was that hot water bottle. I'd never heard of that before. The concept and the idea behind it makes absolute sense. I just never heard of it. But if you have some suggestions of other videos like this one, or any kind of videos at all that I should be reacting to, tell me in the comments. I'm always looking for more suggestions. And yeah, it could be music, it could be culture stuff, it could be literally anything. I don't care. Like when I first started the series, I was watching a lot of very strange and odd videos, and it would be fun to, you know, to react to some more of those. But if you are new to my channel, please subscribe, click that little bell on the bottom so you'll get notifications every time I upload a new video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and go one extra and share this video. Facebook, Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Messenger, text message, email. Write it on a sheet of paper, fold it into a paper airplane and throw it out the window and let somebody random find it. I don't care, just share. I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.